Yo, what it do, YouTube? It is your boy ColtsTalk. We are back with another video, and we are finally here. The NFL season is finally here. We get to talk some Colts football, man. Are you guys excited? I know I'm excited, man. It's been a while. I guess you guys kind of noticed that I'm back in my normal self with these uploads. But today, we going to talk some Colts football. We played the Houston Texans week 1. I'm excited. I know you're excited. So let's go ahead and hop into it, man. But let's go ahead and say that the Colts should have a good season. I feel like they should have a good season, just to start off on the record. And I feel like the curse that you guys assume from the Colts in week 1, I feel like it's going to be ended. I know the Colts is going to win week 1. I have a huge feeling that the Colts are going to win week 1. And I'm going to tell you why. And this is no knock on the Houston Texans. They have potential to be a young team rising into the future of development. And sooner or later, they'll figure something out and be a good team. Unfortunately, it's not this year. But they did get 2 draft picks, Jalen Petrie and Derek Stanley Jr., who I feel like can be a huge asset moving forward into the future of the Houston Texans. But the problem is, I still am not sold on Davis Mills. I know I might get slander about this, but I do not care. I feel like them giving the keys to Davis Mills going into next season is a huge gamble because I'm not sure if he's fully ready to complete that and be a leader for that team. But one move that I am happy and excited to see about is Dameon Pierce, the running back that beat out Marlon Mack in the competition and had a huge preseason for the Houston Texans. I feel like he can be a very huge and vital piece for this week 1 game because a lot of people are saying he can be an odd for fantasy football moving forward. I feel like he could be a huge piece, all these things, but that is another gamble that the Houston Texans are taking on a guy moving forward into the regular season, and especially week 1. But what other way would you use him instead of week 1? This is a great test to test out his strengths going into the season, going up against a division rival, especially week 1 when this team has had a week 1 curse for over 5 years. This is a good test, so I'm not knocking the Texans on this attempt. This is very smart. But I will also like to add that they are in a new head coaching replacement. Lovie Smith, very experienced head coach. He can control the locker room. He's a really good coach, a really good guy for the locker room. But he does have his problems, and so does the Colts. But I always wondered this question going into this game. How is the Colts' run defense going to work against them? Because they did struggle in the preseason. But also, we did add some pieces. We do have Yannick Ngakoue now. We do have a Leo. We do have a new defensive scheme. So I feel like these things are going to be a good test for the Colts moving forward into the season because the beginning of the season for the Colts is a little rocky. But it does lighten up towards the end. So I do feel like this could be a good test for the Colts. If we do win this game, this can definitely pan out a momentum swing for the Colts moving forward into the season. If they win the week 1, I feel like that changes the odds for the Colts because the Colts usually loses in week 1. But I feel like the Colts can win this game. And one of these things is from the previous experience. The last time the Colts played the Texans twice, the Texans only scored 3 points. They only scored 3 points in 2 meetings. Out of 2 meetings, they only scored 3 points. And that says something. The fact that they did go through a running back room, revolving door, switching running backs. Now that they have one, they still do have the same quarterback. Even though he's a rookie, got a little bit more experience. But I feel like this Colts team did improve in certain areas in the offseason. One at the QB, one with an edge rush, and the secondary has gotten better. With adding Stephon Gilmore, going to get Nick Cross, and having Julian Blackmon return. They got Stephon Gilmore, Isaiah Rodgers return. He's more developed. The linebacker group is still intact. The defensive line has gotten better. The offensive line is still questionable. But the offensive line for both teams are huge suspects. I will say that. That is the only thing that worries me. The offensive line for the Houston Texans and the offensive line for the Indianapolis Colts. We can dominate. I feel like we can dominate more due to their lack of the offensive line. I feel like we can have a better advantage. But I do say they do have more experience on the offensive side with Brandon Cooks because Brandon Cooks is a dog. We all know he might be labeled as the best receiver in the AFC South currently. Labeled. But they do have a good chemistry, Davis Mills and Brandon Cooks. So that is another huge question going into this game. But like I said, we do have Stephon Gilmore now, another vet who is a dog. He's been challenged all offseason against Michael Pittman Jr. and Alec Pierce and those young guys. So it's been a switch of a tempo. He's been guarding everybody. And he's a vet. He knows what to do. But having him there and pairing him up with Isaiah Rodgers, who is another ball hawk, adding Nick Cross into that mix, all of those ball hawks, and bringing in potentially, if Darius Leonard plays, could be a huge bonus for the Colts moving into week 1. I do have them winning. I'll give us, to start off the week 1, a 13-point victory. Just 13. But who knows, if the defense can commit turnovers like they have been doing since the preseason and last year. They're really good at scoring on turnovers, the defense. And now having Matt Ryan, who's pretty much better than Carson Wentz. You know, he is at the end of his career, but I feel like having him is a better security blanket because he does hold players accountable, and he's pretty much better at dinking and dunking, in which Carson Wentz didn't do last year. That can be a huge bonus for the Colts. Now, I do think that the Texans are going to put up some points this year. I do think that because they didn't put up any last year, but I do think Dameon Pierce could have a nice welcome party to the NFL. So he might be the shining light for that offense. But like I said, the offensive line is suspect for the Houston Texans. Adding Yannick Ngakoue, who's adding with DeForest Buckner on defensive line, could be a bonus for the Colts. So I do think the Colts are going to win this game. I'm not knocking the Texans' chances of winning because it is week 1, but I do think the Colts have a better odd this year than they had any other year. So that is my thoughts. A 13-point victory for the Indianapolis Colts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Who wins, Houston Texans or the Indianapolis Colts? Let me know why as well, and let me know who are you looking forward to watching. All these things in the comment section. This is Marcus, and until next time, you've been Culture Shock.